If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty. The nights would seem so
Circle was a
long.
Shiba Inu mix, a happy, intelligent, loyal small dog with a big personality. He came to my life by chance. I run a small furniture business in Ablisha, Hong Kong, which is a relatively small community. In year 2011, I first met Circle in the area, wandering happily on his own. At first, I thought Circle was a stray dog. People then told me he belonged to a rice merchant, Chan, who let him out on his own during the day. Little did I know at the time that tan-colored dog with bright brown eyes would later become my loyal and loving companion, my mate, and part of my everyday life. In July 2011, I moved my office to an industrial building a few blocks away. Chan happened to be my neighbor, and he shared a terrace with me. He let Circle roam the streets during the day, and by 5 p.m. every day, Circle would wait for him in the car park for Chan to pick him up. Chan kept Circle in the terrace, and had a crate for him made from a packing box. I came into contact with Circle more often since then. Circle was aloof with me at first. He lived life on his own term most of the time, and very often stretched like a cat. I started to feed him with some homemade dog food, roast chicken and brown rice, etc., before I left office for home, as I was not sure whether Chan would be back to fed him. Circle did not get along with the two other dogs that Chan kept, 2 Dobermans, and Chan started to put Circle under my care. I continued the routine of letting him out in the morning, and took him back at around 5 p.m. every day. Circle was a happy little soul. He loved to run fast and wild, roamed around, play with other dogs, and have a nap under the bushes. Everyone in the neighborhood, people worked in the area, porters, bus drivers, street sweepers, railway construction workers and technicians, etc., knew Circle and adored him. People did not know his name, and nicknamed him Lucky, Happy, and Gypsy, etc. Circle would often stay near the lobby of the building in the morning, greeted people that come to work, and looked into people's eyes, as if to say good morning. People would be drawn by his gentle nature, walked to him, and petted him. Circle was a star of the area. As the days went by, I started to develop a greater relationship with Circle. He had a unique way of showing love and affection towards me. Whenever he met me in the vicinity, he would run towards me, jumped excitedly up and down and run around me like crazy, then quickly run away, fearing that I would catch him and take him home. Circle was very smart. He roamed far away, and could always find his way back to the building. Occasionally, he would come back to my office on his own, stayed a few minutes, wagged his tail and off again on his adventure. However, inside the high-rise building of my office, he did wander to other floors and get lost twice. People would lead him back to the lift and press the button for him, or take him back to me. The head of the management team, Tony, did not like the way Circle wandered around inside the building at first. Whenever he saw Circle in the CCTV, he would instruct his subordinates to get him off the building. It did not take long for him to fall in love with Circle. He personally took Circle back twice, once in a heavy rain, and once when Circle seemed to get lost inside the building. I realized the danger of Circle being out on his own during the day, particularly when the mass transit railway was being built in that area, and the traffic was getting very busy. However, Circle loved the freedom, and was difficult to restrain. He liked to explore the world like Columbus. He was so good at escape. Whenever I opened the door, he could find a way to get out of the building, from route that I hardly knew, through the emergency exit and the driveway of the multi-story car park. He was not happy at all if I kept him indoor for a long period of time. I put a name tag on Circle collar, together with my cell phone number for emergency contact. At around 5 p.m. every day, I would go down and call his name. He would come running to me from far away, showed off by staying around or run around me like crazy, and then he would follow me back to the office where he was kept. He showed the world what I meant to him, and his response to my calls impressed everyone.
Circle! Quán cơm mì, circle! Circle! Bao kê mẹ, circle! Ok? Circle! Bao kê! Ok.快啲，翻屋企。快啲啦，翻屋企啦，唔好咁開心啦！你咁開心做乜嘢啊，傻仔？快啲翻屋企！
He was stubborn but would give in. Occasionally, he would come back on his own, but reluctant to enter the premises. I would then close the door and told him, I don't want Circle anymore. You stay out and be a stray dog. After a few minutes, when I opened the door again, he would enter on his own free will.
咁硬頸做咩呢？咪又係要返嚟？返去嗰度。
On June 14th, 2012, a tragic accident happened. Circle was hit by a taxi just outside the car park of the building. Porter saw the accident and called Chan immediately. Chan walked past my office and told me. I went down and called Circle. I got no response this time. I walked away from the building and looked for him. Then, I saw a tan-colored dog standing on 3 legs, 2 blocks away. People around him shouted loudly and waved for me to come. I saw my little boy left hind limb was completely broken, with several inches of bone exposed. The lower limb was only attached to the upper one by some skin and muscle. Circle, however, was relatively calm, probably knew that I had come to his rescue. People told me he kept on fleeing on 3 legs after the accident until he heard my calls for him. A young guy that worked in the building helped me to carry Circle, while I called Chan to get his car ready. We took Circle to a vet clinic not far away, where he was treated, bandaged with a splint and sedated by a vet nurse. We then took him to SPCA for surgery, or referral for surgery. The vet on duty assessed Circle's condition, and diagnosed that Circle had an open luxation on his tibia, and needed to have an operation, and that there was no surgeon in SPCA that could perform the operation. He referred us to a deluxe vet hospital, on the other side of Hong Kong Island, with a specialist that could fix the broken bone. The vet also mentioned that the charge would be about 3 times as in the SPCA. We took him there nevertheless. The surgeon very briefly explained the plan for Circle. He did not give us an estimate for the surgery. He only mentioned that it would go up to 100,000 Hong Kong dollars, in the worst case scenario. I paid the fee for Circle to be admitted to the vet hospital. Circle stayed in the deluxe vet hospital overnight, where he was x-rayed and prepared for operation. Next day, the vet nurse called and asked for a further deposit. Chan complained the vet hospital for overcharging. I suggested to share all the medical expenses for Circle 50-50, realizing the expenses would be considerable. Chan intended to put Circle to sleep instead. Of course, to amputate his leg would be a cheaper alternate option, but Circle loved to run fast, and he would not be happy, and that would only be my last resort. We took Circle out of the hospital together with all his x-rays and medical record, and made another visit to SPCA for another consultation. That time, it was a female vet. After she looked at all the x-rays, she told me that was a serious case, and that there was no surgeon in SPCA capable of the surgery. She then referred us to another vet surgeon with a more reasonable charge, that originally from SPCA. On the way to the vet hospital, Circle lay on my lap in the car, and started to cry. He probably realized he had made a big trouble. I comforted him, by saying I will not abandon you. I will do everything within my means to help. He He then stopped crying.